7 o'clock को स्टार्ट कर देंगे मीट सान ठीक है yeah. Do let me know if stream has started. Welcome back, everyone, to another insightful episode of DevTalks. Myself, Anand Amar, proudly representing the GNU Linux user group of NIT Durgapur. Today, we are privileged to have a distinguished guest, Mr. Swanand Kadam. He is not just a senior full stack engineer, but also an instructor and the igneous mind behind the first online Hindi programming language, Kalaam. So, it's a genuine pleasure to have you with us today, and I'm excited about the insight you will share today. So, before we dive into the heart of our discussion, I must express my admiration for your diverse journey you had done in the tech world. Your story truly resonates with the inspired spirit of exploration and innovation that we value in our community. So let's start delving into your background. So, can you share what sparked your interest in becoming an engineer and software developer? Was software something that caught your attention from a young age, or did it grow on you?
Yeah, and first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be, discuss with you, young minds. All right, so I used to play a lot of games, like everyone else, and so that is kind of built that interest. Like you're basically trying to hack games, get it from torrent or some place like that, and through that you get into that zone of you start interact with the softwares, and sometimes you just wonder how this is working. Like this is a really good game, and somehow you can add your mod and all that stuff. You guys have must have gone through it. So through that, it created that spark within me. If I have to do something, at least give it a try in the software field. So yeah, I mean that was the ignition there.
Okay, so your journey showcased the diverse part one can take in tech world. I'm sure it resonates with many aspiring developers out there. Sir, moving on to the Kalam, your brainchild, sir, the first online Hindi programming language. What was the thought process behind its development, sir?
Yeah, so I come from tier 3 city, and the only thing that I could get access to at that time was just probably not like huge mobile phones, and you couldn't get any guidance regarding programming and all that stuff. As I said, the only thing that I was interacting with was the game, the basic games, that kind of things. And later on, when I came to the engineering, that's when I suddenly, got open to this world of programming. Like, yes, you cannot just consume programming; you can actually create it. So yeah, this language like C plus plus, so that one just literally got blasted onto me, and I really liked it. Like, okay, so other than just playing and all that, I got into that and I started working on some basic programs and all that. Now, the thing is, back in those tier 3 city, the things have not changed much. You still don't know much about programming. Yes, nowadays the things are better. The internet has democratized access regarding, if you want to learn programming tutorials and all that stuff. But still, if you go, to the root level, like if they want to learn programming, they will be just literally see there is C, C++, and it might overwhelm them, those kind of languages. So I realized, let's create a step zero for these people, so that actually they can just go. It should be very easy to access, not much of the barrier, especially not the language barrier, and they should just see. So it acted like as a window. So the Kalam, I wanted that the platform to act as a window through which they can look into this programming, or like what is possible, what is this programming actually means. Like you're telling computer to do something, what does this algorithm mean? Because I believe in this part. Like the only reason I'm here, because of that ignition, as I said in the first segment, right? That you see this game and you want to create something of your own, and then you just need to get on that path. So Kalam was just that path. uh, through which I just wanted to show these people, see, this is how the programming is. Like forget about C, C++, and all those big things. Maybe you can start it from here. So it has like a lot of learning modes. Plus, you can use it in your own language like Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, even Marathi. So all those accessibility is there. Yeah, so it was, to be honest, just for those tier three city folks, giving that a platform through which they can look at this possibilities of programming.
Yes. So, like as you mentioned, language barrier. So, like breaking the language barrier in programming is like a game changer, sir. Like having a programming language in Hindi opens door for aspiring developers, and so your efforts are truly commendable. But here comes an interesting question, sir. Like with the languages like Python, C++, and Java, like they are dominating in English. Do you think developers will eventually need to learn English?
Yes. So again, yes or no? It kind of depends because things change very quickly, and because of now AI coming into the play, you might see that world where I think we will talk about that later on. I'll not try to get into the detail about it. But right now, if you're talking about, let's say, next 2 or 3 years, yes, English is needed. But again, it is for those commercial purpose. Like let's say you want to build a software, you want to build a web application. It probably is not needed for that first step. As I said, the curiosity part, the learning wala part, because later on you will keep on coming across the tutorials which will be in the English and all that. So I would say English is still necessary, but it is not mandatory. The reason I'm saying it is necessary because we still don't have any language. So Kalam is still there, but Kalam is not commercially ready to to create something. Yes, it is possible. We can create a Hindi version of JavaScript, which is just basically you're typing it in Hindi, and it is interacting with the real version of JavaScript, which is in English. So it's just like acting as a bridge. Uh, but to create a language which is completely in Hindi and it is supporting software development, it will take a lot of time. Like just look at the languages which we are actually using for development purpose. JavaScript took so much time, and people still give it names like this thing is not good, this thing is bad, those kind of stuff. So and it needs collaborative effort. Program language is not you are just creating a to do list or just creating a website. Uh, you have it's a complete design process because and it's an infrastructure project through which you are giving tools for developers to create website, to create games, to create softwares and whatnot. So uh, yeah.
So, like your creation, Kalam not only address, I guess, current barrier, but also creates new possibilities for aspiring developers. So now, like the best part, like let's dive into 0.1% dev project. What does the term 0.1% club or a developer signifies? Like, how does it play a role in your project? So,
Yeah. So because I created this language and I'm always intrigued with that low level stuff, like how things actually work. Like yeah, you might have seen if someone is teaching you a bike and they are just orally, you are just listening it, like just start the ignition, then press the clutch, then sorry, then get the gear on, then start releasing the clutch, accelerator, and all that. While you are hearing it, you get that false confidence. Oh, I can easily do that. But then when you actually get on that, you feel the vibration, you feel the heat, you feel the pressure, if you get all that traffic around you, then things start getting different. And what I want to do with 0.1% dev is just not only because see with the Indian developers the thing is we are consumers, and I'm saying it as a very generic term, not just in terms of development. Go look at like you see the example of foreign YouTubers making content for India. Why they have to do that? Because they know the population in India, they are there and they will consume and they can make a living out of it. We unfortunately have gotten into that habit that whatever is thrown at us we will consume it, and that does not change in the world of development as well. There is no single library or an open source framework that an Indian folk have created through which everyone is using. So take any React, Vue.js, AngularJS, or even low level stuff like Lodash library, which is used for array manipulation, or any visualization library. Everything is created by other people, not from India. And all we do is go to the YouTube, we learn it, and we start implementing it just in the hope of, okay, we'll get the job, we'll be comfortable, and that's all. No, we want to change that. We have the population, and it's not that we are not good. The main thing that you need for programming is just a good logical reasoning, and because of so much maths that we have gone through, and for programming, you don't really need to be a math nerd or something. Even if you know basic maths, that is good enough. And we have that privilege that our ancient wisdom, follows mathematics quite well. And our schools, our parents, you have seen the importance of mathematics. Now, my goal is 0.1% Davis, taking our developers from consumers to creators, so taking to that stratosphere where those 0.1% developer exist, who has the capability to create a framework, to create a library, to create a open source software that they will create and other people will use it. So they will lead that project, they will do all the open source collaboration. They will make sure that they promote it, they'll make sure that it is really good and everyone is using it. And just having that sense of, giving back to the community, and not just, someone has created it and we are going to use it. So with 0.1% dev, uh, we are just offering this unique workshop where you get to learn how to create a programming language, how to create a framework, how to create a library, a state management library like Redux, anything that we have seen, which kind of belongs to that 0.1% level of projects. So we are going to teach that, so that that knowledge also get democratized, not just learning React, learning Vue.js, learning 3JS. No, even that low level stuff as well, we developers, Indian developers should be aware about, and that's what 0.1% they will be focusing on.
Talking about more about your project, 0.1% dev offers unique workshop also, such as building a programming language and a front-end framework. Could you tell us more about the curriculum and why you choose this specific topic for your workshops?
So, see, whenever you are trying to learn something in programming, usually the template is quite there. Just go to YouTube or go to Udemy, learn JavaScript, then learn any front-end framework, React, Vue, Angular, learn any back-end framework. And till that time, the speed is quite good. Everyone is learning super fast. JavaScript is jump over, and then from there you are learning this full stack and all that. Somehow at the full stack, you kind of stop, and then it kind of becomes just consuming this tool, that tool, understanding this and all that. But remember, you are learning at very you are learning abstractions, you are not learning the real knowledge, you are not learning the architect type stuff. Let's say you have to build a project where you need to work on scalability, you need to work on performance, you need to work on a lot of optimizations, you need to work on memory lakes, you need to work on cyber security kind of stuff. I don't think Indian developers has that knowledge. We are just go to this, get these courses and just start just creating the websites and all that. So through the projects like this, because see, this can be taught theoretically as well. Like right now, I can take a 2 hour session on how to have a better performance from your website, and I will not just talk about write a better code. I will actually show you the memory of V8 engine, which is basically powering JavaScript. I will show you the variable that you create, how much memory it is taking into the memory compartments in a V8 engine and all those stuff. So the point with this project is, I just don't want to give a theoretical knowledge, just screen share all that. By the end of this project, you should be confident that I can create a program language, I can create a library, I can create all of these things. Then the paths that you are going to take, that's completely on to you. Like, you don't have to create a second JavaScript, that is not needed. You don't have to create a second React, but the possibilities are endless, because later on, again, this part I will mention, as our conversation progress, the kind of opportunities that are going to come up to the developers, the kind of libraries that will be required. So I want you guys, Indian developers, to be prepared. If they have to work on this kind of project, they should have the necessary knowledge, and I want that knowledge to be shared by properly giving a project. Like, you will have a proper output, and not just theories, definition, some diagrams, some animation. No, you will actually go and implement this stuff by yourself, and you will learn so much in this workshop than Because this is a completely different kind of knowledge. This is not just CSS. This is not just, I wouldn't say, when writing C++ code. This goes much deeper into this, because you are not just working on the software level. You are working on the hardware layer. You are working on the network level as well. So getting that 360-degree understanding, but on that 0.1% level, where very few developers are aware about it, and most importantly, even they are aware about it, they won't be able to apply it on their project. And the second thing is, other than just creating this thing, your resume, your CV. So anyone that graduates from 0.1% dev, I want their interviewer to look at their resume and just go completely crazy. Like, what are this project? You created a programming language, you created a state management library, you created a virtual machine, you created a quantum computing code, you created your own cryptocurrency. No one will see that on anyone's resume. Probably a guy with 10 years of experience would have not ever seen that. So that's our goal, just creating a standout army of developers who knows everything about programming, not just the upper ka stuff, even the low level stuff, and not just know, actually go and implement it by themselves. So that's why this project specifically.
Like, so seriously, your dedication to providing hands-on experiences to workshop is remarkable. Like it adds a practical dimension to learning that is invaluable for aspiring developer. So moving to the hot topic of today's generation, like right now, tech industry seems to going to be a small recession, as is evident for the restricted hiring practices among majors and minor companies. Like what you would like to advise to those aspiring developers who are struggling to find a job in today's cutthroat environment?
Right. First thing is, don't lie to yourself. The reality is there, that there is a kind of recession in the job market. What I always tell my student is, the problem with this mindset that we have is, see, whenever we are applying for a job, we are so self-centric. Like, I have this resume, I'll go apply and I'll probably get a job. No, remember, this conversation happens 50-50. The HR that you're talking, the CEO of the company that you're talking, they are humans, they are not robots. They also have some requirements, they also have some needs, they also have some emotions associated with the fact that they are going to pay someone money. So what usually happens is, we go to this meeting with our own 50%. Oh, I'm this good developer. Someone referred me, or I just had to hit that apply button on the LinkedIn, or I just had to create this email from ChatGPT and just send it away, and somehow I will get the job. No, you need to focus on the other 50% as well. The CEO is waking up in the morning of your company, and they have this need of particular product is coming, particular feature needs to be built. They don't have the developer, and they want to hire the developer. Remember, the CEO started this company because he had some mission. And as a developer, you need to be aware about this stuff as well. This other side of a job interview, that HR, that CEO, that senior developer who is already working in this company for a long time, they have a mission statement, and they will not just look at your skill, they will also look at the fact that how well you will fit into their company. So always look at this thing from other side as well. So for example, if you were the CEO of a company, why would you hire me? What is the reason? Because I just have this cool CV, because I'm talking very well, or is it because I absolutely understand what your company needs and I fit for that profile very well? So recently I had a discussion with one of my students, and he wanted to apply to a gaming company. Now he's trying to apply to a gaming company with a resume which kind of is not suitable for that company, because the company kind of requires someone who is passionate with the games, someone who can have those extra long hours in the night if things are required. That does not mean that they want him to overwork and all that, but that flexibility needs to be there. And I just tell him, just add one thing in your hobbies. If you're adding that part, just add some games, and any project that you worked upon, go back to a GitHub repository and add some gaming animation to that. Just that small part, and just mention that on the CV. Now, what happened is, there are two parallel universes where that guy has not made any changes. He's directly adding his resume. And on another universe, that guy has actually, went and made some changes, specifically for that company. So he added that some little animation, give it a name like I added this gaming animation to my project. Now suddenly that universe starts attracting to the that devil, whoever is interviewing you. They suddenly realize, oh, he has worked on some gaming part in his projects and is quite passionate about games and all that and kind of understand our mission statement. So I'm just giving you one example. If you are working on a company, first look at their side as well, why they will come and they will hire you. And there are multiple ways to find the job. What I see people is they just go to this LinkedIn, upstart, click on the apply button or nogri.com. It will not work. Why? Because there are 1 lakh people also who are doing the same thing. How you will different? How someone will differentiate you? If you are the CEO of a company, you are getting this 1,000 resume. No one is going to differentiate who you are and why I should hire you. So you need to take a different approach. Probably that approach I will talk sometime later. But just letting you know, right now it's very important that you make sure you stand out or make sure that you have created your resume, created your profile tailored fit for that company. So just to give you a very basic example as well, as I said, a gaming company, go to the interviewer by wearing any game t-shirt. So on the front you have a print of any particular game. Probably better if you have the print of the game that those guys are kind of working upon 2D game or 3D game. It kind of sounds silly, but understand that you are not looking at it from the other side. If I look at it from the other side, I suddenly realize, okay, this guy actually like games. He's wearing a t-shirt. Boom, there you go. And it just kind of the mind clicking happens right away, and you just increase your chance of hiring. And even if that happens by 5% in this cutting throat competition, you should go and take that.
Like superb explanations. Like genuinely, I too felt that whatever thing you have said, they are like correct. Many of the people are right nowadays just think like going to LinkedIn, connecting various people, connecting like people from the various company of higher post. This will help out. But seriously, what you said, it's more important to stand out from different person. Like going back, like in a previous to previous question, you have mentioned something about AI. So want to know more or something from your mind, like what is that AI? Means how much important is for today's generation AI?
So see, because we are getting bombarded by this word AI every single time, we kind of lose its meaning, its significance, its role later on in the life. So, I mean, for now, you will just see this chat GPT and all that. Remember, later on, it is going to be normalized. So, our world is moving very fast. And by fast, I don't mean ki everyone is, running and all that. No, any new thing that comes up gets normalized very quickly. So maybe in the next 3 years, Elon Musk starts sending people to the Mars, and in 1 month, everyone will be like, "Wow, what a big deal!" and all that. 1 month, 1 day later, everyone will stop screaming about it. Everyone will say that this is a normal thing. That's going to happen. That's what I mean by fast. So AI will become as like look at your mobile phones. Probably your mobile phones when you used it when you were maybe I don't know in 10th standard, 12th standard, whenever you first did, like oh this is an amazing device. I can call, I can video call, I can play games and all that. Now we don't care about it. It's very normalized. So AI will follow that path as well, and in that transition people will either start losing touch with it and because see what I'm seeing right now is I have friends who are developers and somehow they are not using chat gpt. I don't get it. They're still going to the stack overflow. They're still using google. These are senior developers who have packages of like 18 lpa 20 lpa, and I see that their habit, even though the chat gpt is really good, they are kind of comfortable. So yes, these people exist. They are kind of comfortable with that previous world where everything you just go to the Google and Stack Overflow and all that stuff. So coding will change. The amount of coding we are doing is going to reduce because I hope you are aware about this coding autocomplete completion thing. So I'm not talking about Copilot. I'm talking about this. IntelliSense, the extensions that you have in your VS Code. If you just type a shortcut and it will give you a complete template. So those things were not there when Mark Zuckerberg was creating Facebook in 2004 or 2005, I guess. Later on, the speed of writing code got better because the extensions came in. The code was started getting open source on the GitHub. Now that speed is going exponentially. One thing that will not change is, remember, coding is still a design. Previously, you used to code using a punching machine. Anand, are you aware about the punching machine? I don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
Punching machine? People used to write code in punching machine in Microsoft days.
Acha, so sorry. Like not much idea about that.
All right, cool. So, if people that are looking at it not aware about it, please go back. Around 1980, punch cards used to be there, and you have to put holes into that. So that was like 1010. You're basically machine code, and that thing was used to write code. Later on, things got changed. Uh, then you got a proper code. Like language C, C++, assembly language, then little simpler. Now you have Python, which is very simpler, and now you just tell ChatGPT in the natural language, use this language. So see, the means by which you are telling what to do is changing. Like before it was punching card, now it is just tell ChatGPT, hey, create me a header, footer, a YouTube like layout for my website. That is the part. But one thing that is not changing is design. Pele used to design using punch card, then used to design by writing code. Tomorrow you will design by speaking out the code. Later on, when Neuralink comes in, you will start designing by just thinking code. So it will go to that level. You just think about it. I want this, and it will be there. So that thinking part is very important. And the problem with us is our thinking is very limited. Our thinking is only to that level of creating a website, creating a basic software, and all that. It's not up to that level where we have to architect a product. Let's say someone comes in tomorrow and tell you, go create me a Hotstar like live streaming application where I can have as much users I want. They can come and it should be start streaming perfectly fine. Or go create me a programming language which will be used for a defense project. We guys don't know how to do that. It's just about we are consuming, and the thing is, it is getting crowdy people. Because in India, if we do something, everyone starts following the same path, and it is just very normal. At one point, it is going to be saturated. So yeah, but talking about AI, I don't have to tell you to start using it. It's your choice, but you should be using it, and the things will just become easy. But easy in the sense that you don't have to do that, tick 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 tick, typing all the stuff. It will not get easy in the terms of what actually needs to be built. ChatGPT needs, you need to tell it by what you need to build. What is that thing? What are the features that will come up? And see, ChatGPT is not trained for creating quantum computing algorithms. It is not still trained to create blockchain related website or algorithms or any finance product, because those things probably are not open source. Basically, it doesn't have much training data to actually understand. It has training data a lot on websites, uh, maybe not even games, but websites, JavaScript, Python, it has a lot of data. So when those things will come up, I think you still have to write manually, and we need to dwell into those topic as well. Quantum computing, blockchain, quantum computing. You need to start probably in next 2 years. Just like ChatGPT came in, quantum computing will come up. It will start creating this crazy wave, crazy trend. It's better if you prepare right now for that.
So got to know something new about quantum computing also. So talking more about AI, like many of the people say AI is like curse for software developers, like because they are going to replace software developer. So what do you means? What's your view on this? Like, is it a curse or boon for a for software developers like us?
It is going to filter out developers. So there are good developers, there are bad developers, and if I just give you 10 developers right now, there are very few ones who understand what they are doing. Maybe they are just going to Stack Overflow, copying the code, pasting the code, and just somehow see some senior developer is coming there and they are helping them out. That's all that's happening. Those developers will be filtered out. The bar will be set higher, and the bar will be set by the people. So see, you don't have to be extra intelligent. You just have to understand how to use these tools very well. So yes, the job cutting is going to happen. I don't want to give you guys any false hope. The kind of jobs that we used to have back in the days, those will not exist. But other fields will come up too. Quantum computing, I keep on saying, uh, because with quantum computing you don't create websites, with quantum computing you don't create games. It's a completely different level of applications, completely different software development process you are talking about. And probably how many developers are aware about it, how many developers can actually go and build that. And I'm also predicting that when that thing will come up, you will start seeing Indian YouTubers who will start teaching you quantum computing. That thing will also get oversaturated in next 5 years. Then something new will come up. That thing will get oversaturated in next 5 years. So see, this is evolution. This is not like something bad is happening to you. The speed of progress, you need to match that's all I can tell you. There's no other thing, like you can't expect things to be, because I see my developers like those previous days were good, like used to go to Stack Overflow, Google, and our jobs were secure and all that. But no, you don't run this world. The world is run by the CEOs, the world is run by the board members, the world is run by the CTOs, and what they want is they want their product to be better. Second thing they want is their profits to be better. That will only happen when there is some sort of innovation in the tech, and then there is some sort of productivity that's happening. So that thing will come to everyone, but it's just that you will keep on seeing new innovations, and that new innovation needs products so that consumers can use it, the end consumers. And that between that innovation and end consumers, developers will come in. So today it is let's say basic websites, now it is AI, later on blockchain, then quantum computing, and then god knows who.
Yes, I got to know much about AI today and how it's going to filter like software engineers. Talking more about now overcoming barrier hosts. This is segment like talk. We are going to talk about overcoming barrier hosts. You have emphasized the importance of breaking down barriers for aspiring programmers. So, how do you envision overcoming language and familiarity challenges in reaching students across India?
In terms of name coding or in terms of me teaching them?
So, you're teaching them.
AI will do that for me. So all I have to do is probably get a product subscription who has created that model, and I just need to give them my audio. I need to give them my video feed. So if you are following Nvidia is probably launching every AI product. Sorry, Nvidia is launching a new AI products almost every single month. So what one of their product is basically, let's say I'm looking away right now, and if I have that product with me, my eyes will still be looking at you. So maybe I'm looking at my phone, I'm giving a talk, but for you guys it will still look like that, my eyes are kind of moved here, my facial structure will be rearranged by that AI, so that it actually looks like yes, I am actually talking to you guys while I'm actually using my phone. One of the other product is, I'm right now talking in, let's say, English, and I give them a Hindi script, and my lips will basically sync to that Hindi script. So that will just be taken care of. Like maybe 5 years down the line, if you ask me this question, the answer would be so different. Like I would have to hire volunteers, I would have to hire translators, or I would have to create something very unique, something very generic that even non-English people and English people will be able to understand it, and which would have been a completely huge effort in itself. But that's what I'm saying. As we move on, this language barrier is just going to be a thing of the past. Every single thing that will be probably, let's say, so I'm calling. Anand, what's your mother tongue?
Hindi.
Hindi?
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Let's imagine your mother tongue is Telugu. All right. My mother tongue is Marathi. And definitely you don't know English. I don't know Hindi. How can we talk? And maybe let's say tomorrow Geo, maybe not Geo, let's say iOS or your Android, whatever it is, they will come up with a feature that whoever is talking, and let's say whatever language they are talking, we don't care Spanish, French, and all that, you will get the real time translation in your language, and I guarantee you that that feature is going to come up. Your mobile phones are going to be the next thing where every single thing is going to be the AI powered. So that thing is going to completely blur the lines. AI will be the real-time translator in each single thing. I think there are already some products. So I recently saw, I'm not remembering it. So let's say I'm a Spanish guy, and I you invited me for this workshop, and I can talk English. I'm literally talking in Spanish right now, but because of the AI, it is real-time translating that in English, and my lips are also syncing to it. So yeah, that will be the solution.
Like so addressing these challenges heads on is crucial for more inclusive text community. Your insights are instrumental in shaping a more accessible landscape for future developer. And also, sir, got to know like you live in Mumbai, like Maharashtra, and I too live in Maharashtra, sir. So it won't be a barrier for me too. So talking about impact and outreach, host, sir, your articles on Quora and Medium have reached millions, and your YouTube video shares valuable insight. How do you see this platform contributing to your mission of making programming more accessible?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I missed that, the last sentence.
Oh, okay, sir. Your articles on Quora and Medium have reached millions, and your YouTube videos share valuable insight. How do you see this platform contributing to your mission of making programming more accessible?
Right. Um, so to be honest, my mission has kind of taken a different path. Like it is, the part is still core, making programming more accessible. Because see, programming is a language, just like we are communicating right now. Programming is a language, and today, let's say how many computers there might be. Maybe we don't know the count, but later on, for 8 billion people in the world, there will be 8 billion AI. So your mobile phone will be your personal assistant. So and it will be AI powered. Probably not 8 billion AI, probably 16 billion AI. Who knows? And that means if you want to live in the world, you need to know how to communicate with the computer, and that is going to be very basic knowledge. Like you will probably tell your kids that back in the days, to learn computer science, you have to go to the college 4 years, 5 years, PhD, whatnot people used to do. Now, as soon as a child is born, probably the first thing they get to say is work on the computers. You already see that they are accessing computers, it's just that they are watching reels and TikToks. But later on, they will have to eventually, even though they like it or not, that's a different part. They need to learn how to talk to computer. By talk, I again mean, program it, maybe use it for their own advantage. At least you have to use AI tools if you are not creating one. So that accessibility will again, be taken care by AI. What I'm more interested right now is, as I said, with 0.1% dev, how you can get ahead of everything, get ahead of this car. Because if everyone is using this tool, um, but Anand, which year are you in?
So second year.
Second year, computer science.
No, sir, chemical engineering.
Okay, are you aware about what computer folks are learning?
Yes, sir. Like as I'm in a club, GLUG, GNU Linux user group, so they helps me a lot in knowing this.
So, what is the one language, one framework that you guys are kind of working on?
Like there are many frameworks of like particularly in practical, I have gone for Vue.js. I've moved this framework,
Yeah, good choice.
and
So, see, we right now kind of make fun of HTML in the sense that HTML is not that, but in the sense that HTML is not a programming language. HTML is not that difficult. That thing is going to happen to front end development. People, I say it right now, front end development is going to be next HTML. Like everyone will know how to do that. It is not going to be rocket science. These frameworks are going so good. The path, the learning curve, like Vue.js is actually very easy to learn compared to React or Angular. So, and because of ChatGPT, you have your personal tutor and all that. So, how to stand out? The only way you can stand out if you know how to actually create these tools, how to create AI, how to create a blockchain based application, how to create quantum algorithms. That's where the next revolution is going to come in. And you can only tap into those kind of things when you are confident about your current knowledge. If your current knowledge is just about, uh, very shallow and something that is just floating on the water, or you don't know what that deep water is, basically how JavaScript work, how Vue.js works, how those virtual DOM, like how the DOM updates happen in the real time, uh, all that stuff. So that's what my mission is going to be, and I am trying to do that through this open source. First of all, really good work you guys have, like open source community that is very much needed. All I see people doing open source is just singular effort. Go read some open source code. That's all. But if you have a friend or two who is also talking about open source, that kind of changes the landscape pretty much quickly. So with these articles, Quora, and the YouTube videos, actually, I'm starting a series on YouTube real soon. So let's say you mentioned Vue.js, right? How long you have been learning Vue.js?
So like I've done a one project related to it, like Uber clone. Like past 6 months, it's over. Like I've done the project.
Right. Reminder to talk about this clone wala thing as well. Huh? We'll talk about that later on. Yeah.
Okay.
So so you and where did you learn from it? YouTube, Udemy course, or
Yeah, YouTube. I've learned for YouTube, and like from seniors, they have been help. They help me like to learn this tech stack.
correct. So you see that everything will be available on the YouTube. And see, there is no substitute for learning this thing. First of all, as I'm saying, just because AI is there, that does not mean that you go and tell AI go create a Vue 3 app for me where I can basically e-commerce website and all that. No, it will probably not be able to do it even in the next 5 years, because there are so moving components and all that. You need your eyes just to approve that part. That's what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying go code and all that. Maybe the AI did every single thing: back end, front end, deployment, even buying the domain, payment integration, scalability. But you need to be there to approve it. कोई era gera cannot go there and and just approve that stuff. So that part is still going to be there. But more importantly, how Vue.js actually works. If I go to my source, if I go to Vue.js source code, how they have created it, how that composition API or what are Vue 3 things are, how they're working, the directives, the VIF and all that. That knowledge is going to give you the confidence to jump into this big stuff. So see, your the way you look at programming language, the way you look at framework will completely change the time you start reading this source code. So for an example, have you seen, like say you take your bike to the service wala guy and you're riding it, that's why you're telling it all the problems and all that, but service guy says that no, let me ride it, I will see what the problem is. So the way you ride a bike and the way that service wala guy rides a bike is completely different. You are just riding it, that guy is feeling it. He knows if there is a noise, he actually knows that, even without touching it and all that. He has a deeper connection to that bike. What I want us developers, open source developers, 0.1% developers to be, to have that connection with your code, to have that connection with any new language that comes up, and you realize, oh, the syntax looks like this, must be compiled in this way. So there is absolutely no fear. Any language that comes in, any framework that comes in, because you know how the internal things are, and then that knowledge, when you take to the quantum field, you take to the blockchain field, you take to the AR VR field, that is going to accelerate you far better than anyone else. And again, if someone is trying to hire you and you have created this kind of projects, you are already in that 0.1%, like you are already standing out from other stuff. Yeah, that's what I'll be trying to do in my coming YouTube videos as well, just discussing, going to the actual source code, and maybe let's see how Vue.js works, taking one particular source code, particular file, and trying to play with it, tweaking with it, console.logging it to just see how that stuff works.
Like leveraging this platform for knowledge sharing is impactful. It's heartening to see that positive influence you're having on the broader community. So before going to the last segment of our today's session, I just want to remind you, you told me to like remind me on the clone topic.
Yeah. Yeah. So see, with regarding clone, because uh, I have a love hate relationship with the clones, and I want to be very clear about it. In my LinkedIn as well, students ask me like, why sometimes you mention that clones are not good and all that. See, clones are absolutely fantastic, but remember that as a developer, there are two phases of you. You have a training phase and you have a performance phase. In the training phase, there are certain projects that will only help you to train you. So let's say to-do list. Anand, you also know that creating a to-do list will not get you a job. It is
Yes,
only to
obviously.
train you. Creating a clone of any e-commerce website will not get you a job. It is only to train you. Similarly, these kind of projects will exist in other fields. Even in the AI, there are certain projects which are only good for, training. And cloning is comes in that zone. So now you mentioned Uber clone. Now, Uber has, if you're cloning their, let's say, architecture, if you're cloning how their database works, if you're cloning how their scalability works, perfect, no problem. But if you are saying that I'm cloning a Uber and you are just cloning the UI, you are not cloning the Uber. And don't get into that false confidence that you mention that project on your resume and you will get a job because of it. You will absolutely get a job because of cloning a particular website. If you also mention that I created a scalable system like Uber, I created a flawless, that like if you look at the Uber ka UI, it is very swift, it is very fast. So that part, and your database design, your system design is similar to the Uber, then it is good. So I always try to tell people is make sure that when you're, so let's say I have to learn quantum computing, why would I get into that performance phase? I need to train myself, so I'll create something as simple as hello world there, get myself confident, and slowly I will move to that phase. But important part is don't stay in that training zone. Go to your performance phase, start creating the projects that are actually needed by the CEOs, the CTOs, and the corporates who are going to pay you for that. So make sure that you are kind of, constantly shifting between what you need for the training and what you need for the performance. So just keep that distinction when you're next time cloning something and trying to, get a job because of it.
Yeah, sir. Like, not only just I've cloned the US, sir. I've done all the scalable part also, like map the integration and like map payment integration also, sir. Now, sir,
Okay.
looking ahead, sir, what are your future plan for Kalam and 0.1% dev? Are there new projects or initiative on the horizon, sir?
Yes, so Kalaam is an open source project, so you can go right now, just have a look at the repository. Uh, it's something that you learn a lot. It is open source friendly, first of all. So what happens to Kalam? So Kalam is run by a lot of volunteers. I don't actually look at it much actively right now because again it's an open source project. So people will come and collaborate on that. So I have seen few students from Hyderabad just taking a workshop, going to a particular school which they were not teaching in English and all that. They were not computer literacy there at all. So they took their laptop, Kalaam.org, they open it up and they showed that okay, this is programming. And in that you don't have to type print and all that. You just have to type dikhao 1 plus 1, dikhao 2 plus 3. It's very simple code. But that curiosity you can see in their eyes, in that sense. So Kala will always be about that. That's step zero. Kala will not be step one, step two, step three. You through Kala you cannot create games, cannot create website. Maybe in the future we'll see. But right now it is that step, and through open source we are pushing for that effort. Now the second phase of this, making sure that we Indian are really elite developers. We belong to that, stratosphere. That's where 0.1% dev comes in. And on this website, so right now we are only doing live workshop, only limited to 10 seats. So we are not, trying to just scale it up right now. Probably will happen later on. But it will have a live courses proper quality courses that you will not find on YouTube, Udemy, go anywhere. You will not find a tutorial on how to build a programming language. You will not find a tutorial on how to create a clone of Vue.js. You will not find a tutorial on how to create something like React, Redux, or how to write quantum computing algorithms, how to create a cryptocurrency. You'll never find it anywhere, but you'll find it on 0.1% dev. Right now, it is happening only through workshops. Later on, it will be accessible to you guys on the website. You can just go there, look at the course, see if you like it. All we can tell is we take a lot of research while creating this curriculum. So it's not just about that we just throw random information onto something. Just making sure that it sounds very dramatic and sounds very uh, what is it, polished. No, We actually build a project. That's what my goal is. I don't want to teach you just how to create a cryptocurrency. I want you to have your own cryptocurrency at the end of the workshop. I want you to have your own program language at the end of the workshop. And with 0.1% dev, with our community, you almost have a lifetime access to the kind of resources that we share there. So that's all. I mean, the name says every single thing. I feel that I'm kind of repeating myself, but yeah, just allowing people to uh, transition into an elite developer stage through the signature workshop that you will not find elsewhere, through the support that you will not find elsewhere for this kind of projects, for creating clones and and all that you will find everywhere, like those kind of things. But this thing is just something we hope. Like already the people that have graduated, they are creating a lot of interesting stuff from this. So yeah, that's all. That's all. The goals are for this things.
Like your forward thinking approach ensures that your contribution will continue to shape the future of programming education. So before ending this today's session, so there are many students who have like asked a few questions to you in a live chat. I would love to ask you one question from it. So one boy from like called Sudhir Sundar Datta has asked, what would be promising career path in a software field 10 years down the line?
Become a CEO. That's the only thing that will remain. So what I will tell you, everyone will become a freelancer. I'm grading 0.1% dev. I don't need anyone. I really don't need anyone. I am my own teacher. I probably have few friends, we like talk on the community, like what is the curriculum should be and all that. But the point is, anyone can go create a website. Anyone can do all that stuff, sort of stuff. But everyone will, by CEO I mean everyone will become a freelancer. So right now what you have is you have this conglomerate. You have Infosys, your TCS, big companies hiring how many people? 5,000 people they have on their team. I think 5,000 is very small number. They have probably 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs developers on their payroll across the globe. Those conglomerates will break down. So right now if you have, let's say, just give me a second, I'm doing some basic maths. So you have, let's say, uh, 5 companies who are employing 100 people each. That means total 500 people. AI will change that into 50 companies with 10 people each. And in, let's say, 20 years, that will literally change into 500 companies with one person each. Because see, because of our consuming habits, because this is just the start. Remember that. Don't We are living in a still stone age. This communication that we are having, this mobile phone is still dumb. There are so many opportunities to improve that mobile phone. There are still many opportunities to make this session more interactive. This guy Sundar Datta asked me a question. Probably he would be sitting here right now looking at my face and asking me a question or sharing something. Who knows? Those kind of applications will come up. And for that, because of the AI, thing is, any developer can create anything. Like, you just have to tell what to do. So you will become an architect. Stop calling yourself. See, you guys are like my friends now. Um, so just to tell you very honestly, stop calling yourself developer. That thing is not going to exist. What everyone is going to be is architect. Everyone is going to be a designer. Look at it as a painter. They just have to go and paint something. It's just that they have to use their hand and all that. Right now, you don't have to use your hand or anything. Just tell ChatGPT, can you do research on this? What is the market size for this? How many consumers will buy this product? Can you create an ad campaign for me? You just need to have a real understanding of the world, what people is going to buy, what people is going to consume. So just look at this thing in that sense. I want to be optimistic and tell you, no, there will be software developer jobs. No, shift your thinking completely upside down. Start thinking that you are a CEO. What are the products people are going to consume, and how you can create that, because creation is going to be very easy. Maybe not today, but tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he got his answer. So hopefully we see Sudhi as a future CEO of any company.
Yes,
So
Sudhir,
that
please hire us to create.
uh, so that concludes our interview with Mr. Swanand Kadam. Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights and journey with us. It was really an informative session.
So that's it,
Uh,
Anand. We don't have more questions. I could take more questions.
Acha, sir. Yeah, we have it.
I think we have
And
7 minutes. I see very
okay, sir.
interesting questions.
Yeah, sir. We can like going with question. So one question like thoughts on Rust as a programming language and its prospects.
I haven't used it. I'm very ashamed of it that I haven't used it. I've seen people using it. I keep on seeing on LinkedIn, Twitter that Rust is a really good programming language. But you also see the posts from people saying that JavaScript is the best language in the world. Stuff like that. So as long as it is doing something good, it is fine. And yeah, I mean, I'll have to go see. I don't want to lie to you just by saying ki I have seen this post of people, Rust is really good for this and all. But one of my colleagues who use it, they say it's really good. But I also tell that JavaScript is really good because it pays me money. So see, take any language that has some like good enough job because it is actually good popular language. It is becoming. And see, just by looking at me, I'm talking about quantum and blockchain and all that, and I don't know much about Rust. So if there is any job that is going to come, I'm already prepared to apply to a job as a Rust developer. But probably there will be a lot of people will switch from JavaScript to Rust, and then those things will attack those jobs. But my point is, if you know how language works, if you are aware about, because see, what you're writing, you're not writing Rust, you're not writing JavaScript, you're not writing C++, you're just writing text. That's all the meaning that happens, that is done by the compiler and all that. And once you know that thing na, aaj rust ho, kal jaake dust aa jaye, who cares? You will go, probably will just need one day to look at the documentation. Okay, this is how the for loop works, this is how the if else works and all that. Done. ChatGPT will teach you in one day, and then you can start applying for the jobs. So yeah.
So yeah, next question, sir, from Dipan Das. How to get started with blockchain technology?
It will have a probably long answer, but to just tell you short. See, for the blockchain, you'll be in the training zone. So you'll have to go to that phase, to-do list, creating those boring application. And for that, I would recommend you to not spend a single amount of rupees on anything. Not on 0.1%. Don't come and buy anything from us. Just go to the YouTube or not ChatGPT. ChatGPT will have less data about blockchain because those things are not open source. There is one website, I think, Free Code Camp. Are you aware about Free Code Camp?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, so they have created one good blockchain core, which is good for training, which is good for so that solidity language and all that. Maybe you can start from there. See if you like it. If you like it, you teach other people. Probably there will be a lot of blockchain educators will be needed in the future as well. So if you're planning to start your YouTube career in programming, don't teach JavaScript. Don't teach other stuff. Teach what will come later. Then the blockchain.
Yes. Yeah. So like next question from Sans, how to create a cryptocurrency? And like he also asked how AI will change the developer job.
Which one should I answer first?
So like cryptocurrency. So go with crypto.
So see, cryptocurrency. I don't know, to be honest, how to create a cryptocurrency. What I know is I'm confident enough to figure it out because the underlying thing, it's just the blockchain. How so? Let's say you have to create a payment integration. Forget about cryptocurrency. You have to create a payment integration. Now, what is that? You are just taking some data, it's a digital amount, whatever it is. There is some bank, and you are just communicating with that. So cryptocurrency will almost, the theme is same. It is a financial system, and you need to store it, you need to manage it, you need to transfer it. But all the locking system that will happen, it will happen because of the blockchain. But it's quite possible. Hopefully, in my YouTube videos that I'll look up, because I don't want to give you any wrong mental models right now. All I know is it's very much possible. Like take any single thing, brother. You can create anything. It is not that hard. If God did not create it, you can create it.
So like next part of his question was like how AI will what is this question? How AI will change the developer job.
My coding is already reduced by 70 to 80%. I don't code at all. I absolutely don't code. I go tell ChatGPT what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. I just go, act as the supervisor and change the stuff in that. So The speed of execution will happen pretty fast. If I had to create 0.1% dev website back in the day, it would have probably took me maybe let's say 2 months. Now it can take me only 15 days. That 15 days will be reduced to 10 days. 10 days will be reduced to 5 days. 5 days will be reduced to 1 day. So how AI will change the developer job? There will no job. Just to be very clear with you, as I said, I don't want to give you any false hope and all that, but accept this reality. Don't just go in the corner and start crying about, okay, we are learning this, we are in the engineering, my parents paid the fees and all that. It kind of happened like I failed my engineering in third year. Like I had so many backlogs and all that. I was kind of going through the same phase. Like I'm not understanding anything. Just let this world go. I want to take some one was, and I don't want to do this coding and all that. It's fine. That thing will happen. But just look into the future. There are opportunities. As I said you already, the kind of opportunities that will come up, and just because of the chat GPT, it is going to be so easy for you to apply, to find the job, to be ready for that scale. Is going to be huge. Just understand how world works. Maybe that is going to be the most important skill.
So, like, I think we have covered all the questions. So, genuinely, it was a pleasure to be with you, to have this session with you. Really, it was very informative session. A big thank to you, sir, for your time, and obviously to our viewers. So, any last like you want to say to our viewers?
Good night, maybe.
Okay. Till that time, keep coding and stay tuned for more enlightening discussion on DevTalk. May the source be with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Bye.